Since the dawn of gaming, there have been thousands of incredibly badass video game weapons we've used to defeat millions of virtual enemies with. The Master Sword in Zelda, plasma grenades in Halo, triple red shell from Mario Kart, Counter-Strike's Deagle, Lancer in Gears of War, the golden gun in GoldenEye, the list goes on and on. Like I said, there's an endless amount of unique weapons that have captured our hearts and our happy trigger fingers. But today, we're rounding out this year with the most badass video game weapons of 2018. But before we get started, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Also, click that little bell so you can find out when we upload next. It's super helpful and it helps us keep creating. Thanks. Number 10, the Arctic Warfare Magnum from PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. First up, we're going with a given, the AWM from PUBG. Modeled after the real-world weapon designed and manufactured by Accuracy International, this bolt-action rifle is known for its amazing stopping power from far range. This weapon isn't special to PUBG either. It's been widely popular in a ton of other realistic shooting games. Most notably Counter-Strike, where it's known as the AWP and is one of the most popular weapons in the game. I would know, I use it exclusively. Remember the good old days and millions of hours spent in Dust 2 sniping mid? Ah, nostalgia. Anyway, in PUBG, the AWM deals the highest amount of damage of any gun in the game. It's also one of the only weapons that can kill any player in one shot to the head, even with an upgraded helmet. That and the crossbow, but seriously, if you're one of those people who's insanely skilled with the crossbow, I hate you. How do you do it? The AWM's sluggish reload time and its unique ammo make this sharpshooter a definite risk, but with patience and practice, this beast is worth taming. Plus, what easier way to make someone rage quit? Who doesn't love making someone rage quit? Number 9, the Web Bomb from Spider-Man on PS4. As one of the best games of the year, Spider-Man also had some amazing weapons. Yeah, we know, when it comes to Spider-Man, you're probably not thinking about traditional weapons. You're thinking of endless web slinging through New York City, which was an absolute blast. However, the real blast came from the game's intuitive fight mechanics and gadgets. Impact webs, spider drones, electric webs, trip mines, the list was expansive, but for me, none were as badass as the Web Bomb. After unlocking this gadget, I quickly realized how crucial this weapon was going to be for Spidey's success. Usage is simple. You throw the Web Bomb into a large group of enemies to swiftly entangle them, or better yet, send them flying into walls. It's a lifesaver, and it also doesn't hurt that it looks super sick when you're in close quarter combat. Before we move on though, we also want to give a shout out to Spider-Man's Suspension Matrix. Especially when coupled with a Web Bomb, this gadget immediately sends all enemies flying into the air, stunning them into a coma for a few moments. From there, you can then fly up and zip around while pulling off aerial attacks and combos. It's pretty awesome. Number 8, the M249 from Far Cry 5. The Far Cry franchise has been known for its extensive list of artillery, and the newest title in the series does not disappoint. Sidearms, shotguns, submachine guns, assault rifles, sniper rifles, and of course, machine guns. When it comes to sheer, unhinged mayhem, you can't help but think of the destructive beauty that is a machine gun. That's why the M249 from Far Cry 5 has easily landed a spot on this list. This rapid-fire killing machine has appeared in multiple Far Cry games and made its triumphant return this year in the woods of Montana. Although it's classified as a light machine gun, the M249 offers an especially high fire rate and is deployable in almost every combat scenario. And like other machine guns, it may suffer from low, fully automatic firing accuracy, but by using short bursts and focusing your fire, you're certain to absolutely obliterate all your enemies. The M249 is one of the most powerful guns in the game, and is a staple of any realistic shooter, so this year's appearance was definitely worth a spot on this list. Number 7, the Mallet of Everlasting Flame from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This epic-sounding weapon from the newest Assassin's Creed game definitely lives up to the badassery of its own name. This legendary heavy blunt weapon certainly brings the heat as it turns all the damage into fire damage. Because why would you want to just do regular damage when you can do fire damage, right? This flaming mace is also great when facing multiple enemies due to its damage over time ability. I mean, I could seriously swing this thing for hours on end, but I'll spare you guys and save that for my alone time. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is filled with badass swords, heavy blunts, staffs, and bows, but the Mallet of Everlasting Flame definitely rises through the ashes and onto our list. Number 6, the MOZU from Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Most of the time, when you think badass, you think big. I mean, look at this guy, look how big he is. You're lying if you don't see him and think badass. But unfortunately, that's not always the case, especially when we're talking about the MOZU from Black Ops 4. This sick little double action revolver not only has the highest damage in its class, but it also has the long range capability of a bigger gun. Yes, ideally you'll want to stack this little sucker up with a combination of scopes, stabilizers, and grips, but regardless, it's a killer. The MOZU gets its name from this cute little bird known as the bull-headed shrike, or MOZU in Japanese. But like the gun, don't let it deceive you, as this bird is known to impale some of its prey upon a sharp point like a thorn, so it can be easier to rip apart for food. So metal. Maybe we should do another list of badass metal birds so we can include this little guy? Number 5, the Scar from Fortnite. Probably another given on this list, this legendary Special Operations Forces Combat Assault Rifle, or SCAR if you're a normal person, remains one of the best weapons in Fortnite. Similar to the AWM, this bad boy is well known amongst the realistic shooting game community, but it's slowly made its way to Battle Royale games. And if you're a Battle Royale player, you know that the first thing you have to do is find a gun, and fast, before some jerk shoots you out of nowhere. Then you have to go back to the lobby, and then you join a new game, then you get shot out of nowhere again, and how did you die 97th twice in a row? And you get mad, you throw a controller at the TV, then your girlfriend comes in, and she's like, "What's wrong, honey?" And you say, "Oh, nothing, just playing video games." Where was I? Oh, right. So, while you're desperately attempting to stay alive in a new game, if you happen to come across a gold legendary SCAR, or at least, the purple one, you know you're in good hands and your chances of survival have just gone up exponentially. This assault rifle is quite possibly the most useful weapon in the game for its accuracy, its good damage, its solid range, and its firing rate. If you know what you're doing, the SCAR will undoubtedly give you the upper hand time and time again. And if you don't know what you're doing, there's always spraying and praying. Number 4, FLACO'S revolver from Red Dead Redemption 2. In my opinion, revolvers are some of the most badass weapons in video game history. From the outrageously powerful hand cannon that I spent hundreds of hours killing zombies with in Resident Evil 4, to the badass 357 Magnum from Half-Life. If you want to be a true gunslinger, is there a better weapon than a revolver? And naturally, this year's #1 gunslinging title is without a doubt Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption 2. Obtained after winning a duel against the gun's namesake, spoiler alert, Flaco Hernandez, FLACO'S revolver is a classic cattleman revolver with delicate engravings and a carved ivory handle that looks beautiful shimmering in the light. And I know, there's a lot of custom weapons in Red Dead Redemption 2. You can buy your own and make it beautiful as you like, and I'm sure that your weapon is super badass and deserves a spot on this list. But we had to pick at least one of the many unique guns you can find in this beautifully detailed game on this list. Number 3, MAJORA'S Moon from Super Smash Ultimate. The Smash Bros. Series houses the best of the best video game characters, so it clearly would also house the best weapons, right? However, making the list this year isn't one of the weapons, it's actually an assist trophy from the game. Introduced in Smash Bros. Brawl, assist trophies are items that are dropped during battle that when picked up and broken open, summon a random character to come aid the player. And one of the most seemingly badass assist trophies to ever grace the stage is hands down MAJORA'S Moon from the latest Smash title, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Originally from The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, the moon becomes the ultimate bad guy after being possessed by Majora's Mask. When it's summoned in Smash, it'll slowly move towards the stage to do major Majora damage and obliterate everything in its path. And also, let's be honest here, this is clearly the most terrifying weapon of all of these, right? Look at those creepy eyes, dude. Number 2, the Greatsword from Monster Hunter World. This greatsword is, a great sword. I mean, look at this damn thing. How could we have a list of badass weapons and not include this weapon of mass destruction? Monster Hunter is an action RPG developed by Capcom and revolves around killing or capturing insane monsters of all shapes and sizes. If there was ever a game to require a badass weapon, it's definitely one that involves destroying terrifying monsters. Or if you ask me, a game where we go around ruthlessly killing these innocent creatures that are minding their own goddamn business. What's wrong with us? Okay, clearly this enormous sword is beyond slow and at times makes you feel like a toddler trying to play with big boy toys. In addition to that, it's also pretty terrible at blocking. But nevertheless, its powerful attacks make it worth feeling like you're playing Skyrim with 400 sweet rolls on your person. It's the highest damage output weapon in the game and has great range considering it's a melee weapon. And while its attacks are slow to wind up, the greatsword can also be used in charge attacks that deal crazy damage and throw monsters, innocent creatures, off their balance. It takes a lot of practice to master the greatsword, but when you do, a single blow can be devastating. That's why it deserves second place on our list. Number 1, Blades of Chaos from God of War. And finally, arguably the most badass weapon of them all in a series filled with utterly jaw-dropping badass weapons. The Blades of Chaos are a pair of chain blades forged by the freaking god of war himself, Ares. Legend has it that Ares fashioned the blades for a servant who proved worthy of his service. Weird flex, but okay. And while they've been a staple in previous games, they were initially replaced with the Leviathan axe in the newest God of War. This was in an attempt to bury a tragic past. You remember, right? When he killed his entire family? I mean, I get it. Actually, I don't get it. But why bury such a badass weapon in the name of tragedy? Mythology aside, fans went absolutely crazy upon learning the infamous Blades of Chaos would return to God of War on PS4. It even sparked a wave of reaction videos that flooded the internet. For a weapon, a video game weapon. But it wasn't just a weapon for fans, it was a full circle moment having Kratos return to his fiery blade-slinging glory. So there it is, this year's most badass video game weapons that we couldn't keep our hands off of. Thanks for watching ArcadeCloud. If you like what you saw, please be sure to share, leave a comment, tell us what you think, and hit that subscribe button. Also, click that little bell while you're at it so you can get alerted when we upload next.